So I'm up. I actually went to sleep for several hours, so I just actually woke up. I'm feeling a little bit better now that I actually just slept whatever that was off. But I'm still a little tired, still a little groggy. But hope I'm not coming down and getting sick because I'm pushing myself too much. But um, some of that could be the Chinese food too, because the MSG also messes with my GERD, and I don't feel, sometimes I feel very, congested and stuff after I eat, Chinese food. I feel like I have to, it just doesn't work for my system. So, I wanted to come on. I mean, there's a couple videos I wanted to do this weekend for my YouTube page and my social media, but I wanted to come on and just talk about how much I do not like entitled immigration, or not entitled immigration. How do I say it? Entitled immigrants. I don't like entitled immigrants. People who come to this country and think they're entitled to the things and just automatically entitled to Americans' rights and etc. Either because they get married to somebody or have a connection to getting married to somebody, or just because they think they come over here and they think they know better and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, not every person is like that, but I've known a couple of people that were immigrants that basically just wanted to like fuck America, basically, or just like have the attitudes like I'm here, but like fuck you and fuck America. So I don't know. I mean, I know this one woman that came, pardon my language, my lips there, but I know this one woman that came you know, from Africa. She's very, she always seems very depressed, or always more like I don't know, or etc. But when you try to flirt with her, you try to be nice, you try to make a conversation. She's just like in her own little world, in her own little situation. Which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But then there's other times where she feels like she knows better, and she's learned all these experiences about being an American, and because she knows she's got to tell you, what's right and what's right for you as an American and stuff like that, which is not always true. But she could be a good person, but at the same time, I realize, my flirting with that person and how I flirted with that person, because I have flirted with that person. At least I've tried to, and that person doesn't really always have the most positive of attitudes, or doesn't always seem as positive or upbeat, for my type of level of I would say production, but my type of level of intelligence and stuff like that. She doesn't seem as upbeat and really what God really would have for me in the first place. I was thinking about that earlier. I was half like stoned out of my mind, but now that I've actually slept some of it off, I mean, I still kind of feel like that though. She doesn't feel like I'm really part of her level of intelligence or etc. But I do. I think she's kind of feeling entitled in some ways. In other ways, she's kind of depressed, or has gone through a lot. Being here in America and away from her family and stuff. That she's gone through things and they've gone through things, and it's really kind of affected her. But her outlook and sometimes about being positive is really kind of a downer, and it's just not somebody I would want to be with or connect with in a relationship. I mean, I'm kind of realizing that now as I kind of walked away. It's like she's not really on my level emotionally or positively when it comes to really connecting with somebody in a relationship. So I mean, I've tried to bark up that tree for a relationship. She's like go to hell and all this other stuff to me. So I'll just leave her alone. I mean, I talked to her as a neighbor to be friendly, but I'm not gonna bother with her anymore when that comes to that relationship stuff. But I mean, I mess with her just to be funny and etc. But no, she seems entitled at times, and a lot of people say she seems entitled, and etc. That people think she knows it all, and it gets on people's nerves. Um, but yeah, the other thing too is there was another immigration person, or immigrant, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, illegals basically at this point, just because they feel like they can get married to a man, get married to a man from Massachusetts and shit, and get married to a man from Massachusetts and have a kid, and settle down in Massachusetts like they have a right to be in this country when really they don't. And it was a woman from Canada. It was a woman from Canada who basically was very toxic for my mental health and very toxic for my overall outlook on life, and etc. That she eventually she eventually settled down, or kind of has ties in Massachusetts and etc. because, um, I don't know what the fuck the reason is, but apparently it was just. I mean, she was a whole thing where she didn't tell me about her family or her baby's dad or whatever the fuck he is to her, and that whole situation that I really ended up getting scarred and really hurt, and she said I wasn't, I was closed off to love, and um, she didn't know how Americans love in the first place. I don't think she really understands how Americans love, but she went on this big spiel about what she thought she knew what love was and etc. And I think that some of that had to do with her obsession over Joseph Arthur, because she was a Joseph Arthur fan. She was a Canadian. She was a French Canadian. She wasn't just a Canadian. She was also French, but she was very, she felt very entitled to certain things, or she feels very entitled to certain things. I don't talk to her. I never talked to her again ever since the fact, and I don't plan to. But I mean, I still support Joseph Arthur. I still support, his work and stuff. Because I was still a fan way before I met her. I was still a Joseph Arthur fan, and I was still somebody who connected with Joseph Arthur. But I am also Canadian. The thing is, I'm also Canadian. I don't know if I'm Canadian French or just Canadian, but I am also Canadian or Canadian French, or French Canadian, one of those. But my bloodline is also in the realm of that as well. That I am, of the Canadian bloodline, So it wasn't like I was trying to go visit her to visit her. I wanted to go up and see, the roots of my Canadian roots, because I should have Canadian roots. I should have roots in Russia, Czechoslovakia, or Slovakia. Um, and all these other places, because I'm a mutt, and my muttism is basically makes my nationality branched out into so many different cultures, not just one culture but a bunch of different cultures. I'm Italian too. I'm Italian. I'm Russian. I'm French Canadian. My whole the way it branches off is crazy. I mean, some people think I could even be Brazilian. With my last name, some people think it could even be a Brazilian name, or have like ties to something. Like in southern Portugal or something. But I think it's just because of the Latin Americanism, or the Latin American culture of the language that happened in Italy, for my last name to be what it was. But I don't know for sure, so I can't fully speak on that. But immigrants feel so entitled. I'm gonna keep this video kind of short because I have to come on and do a couple of videos. Some of them are gonna be a little bit more funner, but immigrants feel very entitled. I noticed that about things. They feel like they have some entitlements like Americans to come over here and do what they got to do. I mean, some of them don't always seem as positive, and some of them always don't always seem like they really feel like they're worth being an American, because they're not really treating Americans with respect, or are treating other people fully with respect. I mean, sometimes they are, and sometimes they're sometimes it's like I know better, and I'm this way or that way, and it's just like but anyways, I just wanted to get that off my chest, because we have a huge thing about immigration right now, and if Trump takes office and deports a lot of illegals, or all these immigrants that come over here on their green card and stuff, and if Trump starts deporting them, or starts looking at who's worthy and who's not, and starts deporting them and stuff, a lot of people are going to be really sorry, But then again, that's what he kind of does need to do, because they're coming over here getting their green cards, getting state benefits, getting all these benefits and things that really should be going to other Americans and not people from another country, But yet we do have people coming over here legally. I'm not gonna deny that. We do have people coming to America legally, but people, there's a huge thing about people coming over here not legally, being put on certain things for the state and certain things for different things that are not that are not good for America, and that's the thing. That's my thing too. Is like, I'm a disabled American. I need to be put. I need my disability. I need what I need that to survive. But I mean, if it gets cut a little bit when Trump in office or something, I don't mind that. But I mean, people have different views on things. But um, you know, some people be like, oh, can he work or can he not work? I mean, that's a whole different thing about what people feel is like, oh, can somebody work and somebody not work? I mean, I can work. I don't know if I can work a full-time job. I mean, there's a lot of stipulations around my mental health of whether I can really do a job. And since I did the whole Taekwondo thing, that just took away from my art and kind of dragged the whole artist thing for me downhill after that point. After I got involved with Taekwondo and try to get back involved with the bookstore for John Noki and stuff. Everything fucking went downhill. Everything went downhill, and I pretty much lost a lot of my artistic stuff and opportunities because of Taquanas and all that stuff that had happened. It started with her because I'm sure the police complaints or people calling the cops or etc., which I couldn't let go of because I wanted to find out who did it. Really put the impact on the situation of what had actually had happened. So. I lost a lot. I lost pretty much everything, and I really don't even care to look back. I mean, I'm at the point where all the books I invested in and stuff by others, besides the books with my poems in them that I'm keeping, but all the books most of the books I invested in by others for those previous years, but during the pandemic or before, a lot of them have just gone to Goodwill. A lot of them have just gone to Goodwill. There's a lot more going to Goodwill. I mean, somebody else can appreciate them, but for me personally, I'm not going to try to get involved with certain things or do certain things because I just can't do it. It's just not. I'm quite done. My mental health is important to me, and people are playing games with my mental health. People are not taking my mental health seriously and creating all these dramas and things and take it away from me as an artist and etc. Which they know they could have did that way, and they know what they're doing. So, karma to them, I hope is going to be a bitch. But for the main thing, I just got to walk away and do what I have to do and just live and survive. Um, but yeah, just my thoughts on immigration and some other thoughts. I'm gonna get offline. I need to get something to drink. I'm gonna come back online in a little bit, maybe a few minutes, and maybe do my August book haul. My August book haul I'm gonna do because I don't expect any more books at this point. So I'm gonna do my August book haul for August of the books I got and go from there.